Well, welcome, and let's get started. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few people joining us, but that's okay. I think it's good to start on time. So here we go. If you wouldn't mind closing your eyes and joining me for the opening prayer, praying to the God of your understanding. Divine spirits, please shine down upon us a beautiful divine light filled with love, filled with compassion and forgiveness, and most of all, protection. Please ensure that the work that we do here today is from the highest of positive sources, and that what we say and that what we do is for our own highest good and for the highest good of all others. Amen. And each day, I want to start, I hope to encourage all of you to do some grounding before you begin any session. Normally, if I'm on my way to doing a private reading or a spirit fair or something, I'll do it on the way in the car or every morning. Or sometimes, you get one of those particularly emotional readings. I might even have to do grounding in between. So I've shared a couple of different ones so far, and I have a new one here today. In fact, I'm going to put it on the screen here so that you can see it. And it's kind of an interesting one because we're supposed to repeat the little verse here. It's 4 lines 3 times. And then I'm going to say afterwards, and so it is. So you can join in if you like, or you could just listen along. It's up to you. All right, here we go. Earth grounding. On this day is where I stand, digging my roots deep in the land. Fill me with your energy so bright, and fill me with your strength of might. On this earth is where I stand, digging my roots deep in the land. Fill me with your energy so bright, and fill me with your strength of might. On this earth is where I stand, digging my roots deep in the land. Fill me with your energy so bright, and fill me with your strength of might. And so it is.
So motivated.
All right, what I think I'd like to do, that's a cute little saying and everything, but it didn't really do too much for me. So I'm going to go with my standard one here to start with. So I'm just going to close my eyes, and I'm going to imagine that I have a divine light shining down upon my head. And this beautiful golden light is surrounding my body with this wonderful grounding energy. And that beautiful light is sinking into every muscle and cell of my body, bringing me renewed energy, renewed confidence, renewed abilities to help me through this session today. And I want to focus on my breathing, taking a deep breath in, and then letting it go, a deep breath out. And on the next breath in, I want to imagine that I'm pulling all my energy back, the energy that I've given out to people or the energy that people have taken from me. I want to bring it back into my center. So I'm going to take 3 deep breaths, and on each in-breath, I'm going to imagine I'm pulling back my energy. And now on the next 3 breaths, I'm going to focus on getting rid of negative energy that I've managed to store within my body. Being empaths and sensitives, we often store other people's negative energies. We take on the worries of the world and we store them within ourselves. Or perhaps it's even, deep-seated emotional hurts that have been there for a long time. So on the exhale, so inhale, I'm still going to bring in my energy. On the exhale, I want to imagine that I'm blowing that energy out right down through my legs into the ground, down to the center of the earth where it'll be destroyed. Okay, so here we go. So on the in-breath, I'm going to breathe in and hold it for a couple of seconds. Imagine that beautiful divine light is coming in. And then exhale. Imagine all those negative feelings melting away, dissolving into the earth, leaving my body regenerated and rejuvenated. And one last one. From the top of our heads to the tips of our toes, we're feeling perfect in every way. Perfect mentally, perfect physically, emotionally, calm and serene. All right, so I always like to start my sessions with a meditation. I think it's really important for a couple of reasons. One is if we were actually all together, we could build our power in that particular room. We'd probably all sit in the same spots if we could, and we'd all hold hands to start with. And we're going to do that this afternoon. We're going to start with a bit of a relaxation just to get ourselves wound down from whatever's been going on and get us into the right frame of mind, lower our brain waves and raise our vibrations. Once we've done a bit of a relaxation, we're going to do some healing for others. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on connecting with spirit. Once we've done that, then we're going to do a little group psychic reading. Then we're going to do some breakout groups where you get to practice one-on-one or maybe in a group of 3. And then finally, we'll try to do some spirit readings for the day. So that's sort of the plan. All right, so get yourself comfortable. The most important thing here is to relax, but not too relaxed. We don't want to fall asleep. So if you find yourself dozing off, maybe just sit up a little bit or whatever. It's easy to do. And at any time during this session, I'm just going to put you all on mute here whilst I talk. That way, if there's any unexpected noises or interruptions, it won't bother everybody else. All right, so here we go. I'd like you to, when you're ready, close your eyes. And again, focus on your breathing. Breathing in, calm, and breathing out, stress. And a cool thing to do is to imagine colors going in. So when you're breathing in that calm, it could be a light color, gold. I like blue, light blue, calm feeling, sensation. And then on the exhale, I imagine I'm letting go of stress and tension as a darker color. And that really helps with visualization, helps with your clairvoyance to be able to imagine those sort of things. And I'd like you to focus on the area around your eyes. Let all the little muscles around your eyes go loose and limp and calm and totally relaxed. And let that wonderful feeling of relaxation spread from around your eyes, up over your forehead, through into your scalp, along the top of your head, down into the back of your neck. At the same time, let that wonderful feeling of relaxation spread from around your eyes, down through your cheeks, down along your jawbone, down to the tip of your chin, letting all the little muscles around your mouth go loose and limp and calm and totally relaxed. Let your jaw relax and your mouth might open slightly. Let your tongue relax and it might go to the top or the bottom of your mouth. There's no right way or wrong way. And I like to use the visualization or the metaphor or the image of, that same feeling. We want to spread this relaxation throughout our body, just as if we were stepping into a beautiful, warm morning shower. That wonderful, refreshing warmth of the water hits our head first and then spreads throughout our body. I want you to sort of get that same idea, this relaxation spreading down through your body, just like the water in that shower. And so let that relaxation spread from your head now, down through your neck and into your shoulders. And if you need to shrug or adjust your shoulders in any way to relax, then do so. And then let's let that wonderful feeling of relaxation spread from your shoulders down into your arms, through your shoulders, through your triceps and biceps, around and over your elbows, through your forearms, through your wrists and hands, the top and the bottom, and right out the ends of your fingers. And you may even feel a tingling sensation when that happens, because as you're relaxing, the energy flow in your body becomes much stronger. You have more flow, and you can feel that energy surrounding and flowing, regenerating, rejuvenating your body. Let that wonderful feeling of relaxation now spread from our upper body, our head and our necks and arms, down through our chest, through your chest and into your stomach, to the center of your body. And just notice how wonderful you feel. calm and relaxed, because this is going to be your time here for the next couple of hours, a time to relax, let all your cares and worries go. This is your time, your special time, and you can relax and take it easy and just be with people of similar thought and mind, enjoying your special gifts. And while we're relaxing here, you are in total control. You can become just as relaxed as you want to be. And let's let that wonderful feeling of relaxation spread from the center of your body down through your hips and into your legs. Into your thighs. Your thighs are the hardest work muscle in your body. Let them go totally relaxed. And notice how comfortable you feel. Warm, comfortable, safe and secure. And it's almost like there's a heaviness coming over your body, like you're sinking or melting into the chair that you're sitting in. Totally relaxed and calm. Let that wonderful feeling of relaxation continue to spread over your knees, down through your shins and your calves, down into your ankles, through your Achilles, along the bottom and the tops of your feet, and right out your end of the toes. And again, you might feel a tingling sensation, or you might feel that wonderful flow of energy. That beautiful aura that surrounds your body is becoming fully alive. Beautiful increased flow from the top of our heads to the tips of your toes. You're feeling perfect in every way. Perfect mentally, perfect physically, emotionally, calm and serene. With every breath you take, with every word I say, allow yourself to become more and more relaxed. And as you relax, an amazing thing happens. Your third eye chakra begins to open and blossom like a flower that's blooming, allowing you to have full access to all your beautiful intuitive abilities and skills, psychic skills, healing skills, mediumship skills, activated and warm, and you can concentrate on that area. You can even almost look up to it with your eyes, like up through the top of your head. And as you do that, you can feel the tingling mounting in that third eye area right in your forehead as it begins to activate, giving you all the wonderful abilities, enhancing them and increasing them so that you can do your work, so that you can help others with this beautiful skills that you've been given. And in doing that, I'd like to focus on some healing now, and I'd like you to think of people in your life that could use some healing. And you could have them in a large group all together, or you can have them all individually. And please don't forget to include yourself in that group. And so in your mind, I want you to imagine that all of these people that you want to bring healing to today, I want you to imagine that they're surrounded by a beautiful cloud. Beautiful cloud surrounding your loved ones and friends and acquaintances. And this beautiful cloud is a cloud of healing, a cloud of pure energy, made up of healing light, completely surrounding them. And then just leave them there surrounded in that beautiful light, beautiful divine light, and focus your intentions now to what it is that we're trying to do. So I want you to send out intentions to the universe that we're going to give healing to our loved ones. And then, with every breath that you breathe in, imagine that you are the conduit from a divine healing source. It may be the heavens in general, or perhaps it's a specific healer, somebody that's important to you. It might be a spirit guide, or it could be a famous healer, or perhaps even a famous ascended master, such as Jesus or Buddha, whoever is important to you, whoever is coming through. Anyways, imagine that they are, when you are breathing in, building this beautiful healing power, and it's coming through you. And then on your exhale, you're going to blow that wonderful healing energy and power and blow it right into that cloud that is surrounding your loved ones. So once again, focus on your breathing. As you breathe in, feel that power building, that divine, wonderful power. And after you've, breathe all the way in, hold it for a second or two and let it build. Let it really build. And then Blow that beautiful healing directly into the cloud surrounding the loved ones. Imagine them standing there, being surrounded once more by that beautiful cloud of healing. With every breath that you take, imagine that you're breathing in healing from your divine source. And with every breath out, imagine that you're sending that beautiful healing energy right into the cloud that's surrounding them. And an amazing thing is happening when that happens. It's like a lightning storm is taking place in that cloud. You're seeing flashes of sheet lightning and bolt lightning. But the cool thing is that each time it could be a different color, depending on what that person needs. Perhaps they need physical healing. Perhaps they need mental healing or spiritual healing or emotional healing. And each time they get a flash of the color that's appropriate just for them. Sometimes it's the same for 2 or 3 people. Perhaps each one's getting a different one, but it's quite a light show. That beautiful cloud that surrounds them flashes a color each time that you breathe. Each time that flash is just the perfect color for the perfect person, providing them that perfect energy, giving them that perfect healing that they require. Sometimes it's a gold flash, sometimes red or blue or green or brown, whatever it's needed. And an amazing thing is, as you're working here, breathing in that divine power, building that strength, blowing it out to them, you can sense that a change in your loved ones. You can start to feel them becoming more balanced. You can feel their energy increasing. You can sense them coming into perfect harmony. And where there used to be darkness and pain, you can start to feel an easing of that pain, an easing of that illness, and that darkness slowly starting to change from that dark color to a beautiful light color. Sense them becoming more centered and powerful as the healing continues. And I want you to continue doing this for as long as you feel necessary. And when you're finished, tap your forehead, and then we'll continue with this meditation. That's beautiful work, everybody. Well done. And now I'm going to continue this meditation. We're going to work here on drawing spirit closer to us and working on our connection with spirit. And if you're a beginner, this is a great place to start here. And so, again, I would encourage you to use your imagination and to imagine or visualize or use your mind's eye or pretend or whatever it takes to just allow whatever happens to happen here, because this is your time, your special time. Your logical mind can go take a rest, and we're going to do some amazing things. This next part of the meditation is based on a Tony Stockwell meditation called Blissful Surrender. And now, with your eyes closed, I want you to focus again on that third eye. Feel the activation, feel the power of that chakra as it becomes more and more powerful. And imagine a flower opening and budding, unfolding. The same is happening with your third eye. And as you do that, as your power increases, I'd like you now to ask or call the spirit world closer to you. And you can do this with a silent voice, one that echoes in your mind. And you can be quite familiar, because these are people that you have worked with before, perhaps, or perhaps not. But they're likely going to be your friends or acquaintances. So you can say things such as, hello, I want to meet you. I'm open to making a connection. Come, friends. Come now, for it's time to continue, for us to have a connection, for us to commune. And let them know how earnest you are, how this is important it is to you, that you want to and need to, and you desire to meet and connect with them. Allow them to start to gather into your space. Take a moment and sense your aura, that energy field around your body. Imagine it expanding with each breath that you take. And that as spirits step towards you, you can start to sense movement in your aura field around you. You can sense them beginning to enter into your aura field, that you have a connection. Sometimes spirits are shy, or perhaps they're introverts in real life, and so you might have to coax them and say, step forward, step closer, step into my aura. Let us blend our auras together. This way I can help you. I can help you deliver your message. Take a moment now and focus on your breathing again. Relax and be still. And I want you to visualize or imagine this beautiful divine light pouring in through the center of your being, growing within you and filling your entire being. The center of your awareness is opening, and you become much more sensitive to those spirits that are around you. Become aware of the spirit itself. Become aware of all that is around you. As you breathe and relax, you may notice or sense that there is more than one spirit, that there's another one who wishes to join with you, a being from the other world waiting to communicate, wanting to send a thought directly through you. And again, you can welcome them. Hello, friend. Come forward. Merge with me. And as you say that, you can sense them moving closer now, that connection building with you. Talk to them some more. Say, I give you permission. I give you permission to take my hands very, very gently. And at your own pace, become aware of a subtle blending of energy as their hands are placed over top of your hands. And sense that connection between the two of you growing in its strength. Your energies merging as if they are one. Feel their arms beginning to merge with your own, with their chest merging over top of your chest. Just breathe and surrender and let it go. This beautiful merging of energies, a merging of bodies, because in fact it really is a merging of souls. Spirit is connecting with you, with your spirit body. Give them as much time as they need to successfully complete this process. And if you need to, remind them that you do give them the permission to merge. You do want them to connect with you on a soul-to-soul basis. That you do want to blend your hands or arms or body with them. Perhaps they put their hands on your shoulders, like a guide standing behind you, and you can feel that connection. You can feel the thoughts and the sensations and the emotions. You can feel the love in your heart and in their heart. And that there needs to be no separation, no divide, because your space is their space. Now, gently change your focus a bit and become aware of how you feel. Can you sense this spirit? Can you sense a gender? Male or female? Can you sense a personality? Are they outgoing or are they quiet? Happy or sad? Can you sense the size of them? Large, tall, thin? Is their body larger or smaller than yours? Become aware of the subtle changes in your head as well, as you begin to feel your minds joining together, their eyes over your eyes, their head over your head. And you begin to share memories. Some of their memories are tumbling into your memory, allowing you to share it with their loved ones that have remained behind. And with mediumship, this is the very first part of that process, is to identify who you're communicating with. Who is it that's come through here? Do you already know? Who is this merging soul? And you could ask them, who are you? And try to use all your senses to figure it out. Try to sense their gender, their personality, their memories, their physical description. Because remember, at once time, they walked in our world. So take your time and break it down. You can ask them what their name was. And if it comes to you, that's wonderful. And if it doesn't, maybe you could ask them to write it down for you. Maybe on a whiteboard with a black ink pen, perhaps on a piece of paper, maybe in sand with a stick, so that you can see the name. Take the time to describe as best as you can in your mind, because you're going to share this with us all later, who came through to you. So try to describe who it was that's joined you from the other world. And allow that powerful connection between the two of you to build. You are feeling somebody from the discarnate world. How amazing is that? How cool is that? They have become alive again, and they have arrived. And so it begins. Because you are in the presence of spirit people. In the presence of spirits. And I'm going to give you a moment to communicate with them, or get any messages, or ask them why it is that they came through. Once you've identified who it is, the next step is, what's your story? Why did you come through? And I'll leave you with that a little bit. And when you're ready, you can tap your forehead and we'll continue. When you're finished talking to whoever this is that's come through, all right, and if you've had trouble connecting, just close your eyes for a minute and just imagine someone's going to pop into your mind, and that's who it is that's with you. Thank them for coming. And then I want you to change your focus on your breathing again. Start to take a few deep breaths and start to move your fingers and imagine that you're returning to this time and space. When you're ready, open your eyes. And then I'm going to ask you, each person individually, how you're doing today. Share a little bit about the meditation and what you liked about it. Maybe we'll just take a second and refresh. We did some grounding. We did some healing. We did some relaxing. And then finally, we did a connection with a spirit. Okay. Okay. Melanie, nice to see you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you very much. Yeah. Melanie and I were fortunate enough to spend a week together at Arthur Findlay College once upon a time. And you've been really active in the healing business, eh? How's that going?
It's going really well. I feel like I'm finally, I can put what I do I can describe it now.
Oh, that's great. Well, good work. Way to go. Way to make a difference out there. That's the way to do it.
Hold on a second.
All right. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to ask Marianne to start. How did the meditation go for you?
Well, I was late joining, so.
Okay. So did you manage to get any of it then?
Yes, I did. I came in when we were meeting the spirit, and I just put my finger and my thumb together and said, "So be it," and seemed to be there.
Oh, that's excellent. So you took the shortcut, hey? And
I guess I did.
I guess you did. That was something we learned a long time ago, so that's great. Maybe you could step forward just a bit, Marianne, towards your microphone. You're a little quiet.
Okay.
All right, so do tell. How did it go?
It went well. I met my spirit guide, Derek.
Yep.
And he's dressed in a pioneer, or he was wearing a coonskin cap and leather jacket with fringes and moccasins, and we were sitting around a fire.
Yep.
And he told me I needed to stop worrying so much. I should just wait for things to happen instead of making things up and worrying about things that haven't happened yet.
Oh, that's good advice.
It is.
That's really cool. Well, you A-type personalities like that, you have to have it all right now.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to, by the way, for those of you who are new, I'm allowed to tease Marianne. She's my sister, so it's fair game.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And then in the beginning, before he came forward, there were numerous, like a host of people that came from the past, from relatives and people I'd known.
That's really cool. How did you sense them? Could you sense them like in your aura around you, or how did you make that?
Yes, I could, but I could see them too.
Oh, excellent.
It was like each one stepped forward to say, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really cool. All right. I'm going to move on to Ayla. How are you, Ayla?
I'm good, thanks.
For those of you who don't know Ayla, she's blind, so I usually ask her to, tell us what the card looks like when we do the psychic readings. That's good. And Ayla's just opened a storefront recently. How's that going? Have you had some business and customers?
Not too bad. We have to fill our shelves first with vendors, but...
Right. So you're kind of subletting space out for local people who, create things. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
That's cool. Have you been able to do some readings? And excellent.
I have one tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
Very good. How did the meditation go for you? You look like you're getting much better at meditation.
Yeah.
Because it was hard for you at first, hey?
Yeah. Learning to relax a little more.
Yeah. Excellent. So anything you want to share with us?
I saw a man, a military, and a woman together.
Thanks. Good. Can you speak up just a bit, Ayla?
Sorry, I have a bit of a three. I can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
I can't hear myself. So, I saw a man in military and a woman, and they were arm in arm and looking at each other lovingly.
Cool. It'll be interesting to find out more about that. I wonder if that's for somebody here. Maybe when you're paired up with someone, you can figure it out. Okay, so who is brand new iPad?
That's Denise. I don't know why. I can't get my name on there, though.
Okay, so I think if you should be able to do that on the screen by just clicking on your name and then editing, but not a big deal right now. Denise, let's not worry about that. Let's focus on the good things. How did the meditation go?
It was great. I was able to see like a golden light in my third eye, and I met my spirit guide, and he said his name was Black Eagle.
Cool.
He said he wanted to commune with me and to be one with me. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. You got that going for you.
Wait a minute, I have to do something here. I'm
going to mute you. Okay, Ayla, there you go. Keep going, Diane.
Oh, Denise.
Sorry, Denise.
No, that's okay. Good.
Brain.
That's basically from what I can remember, but it was a great meditation. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Sometimes I, wander when I meditate, and this time I didn't feel like I wandered as much. Okay.
Was there any of the wording in the meditation that helped you connect, say, better than before?
You were saying, like, I want to come meet you, come closer to me, and I was saying those words, and it felt like it was happening.
Yeah, that's good. There's a lot of good things about doing that. First of all, you're taking control of the situation. You're the ones who's encouraging them to step forward, and you can set the boundaries then as well. And I think that's really important. That's something I didn't realize at first, this whole idea of talking to them or asking them to step forward or sometimes to give you more evidence, and that's a helpful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Finley, tell me about your session. How did it go?
It was lovely. I needed to relax. I had, I was sitting in the power for a little bit, and before joining this evening, and got like a headache. So, but wow, I got to get this through me.
Yeah.
So it really helped to get the energy all through me and ground me. And the part where the spirit guide came in, I did see my spirit guide, and I like the approach of asking spirit to blend with you. I've taken courses off of Tony, and I'm familiar with that, so that's very helpful to me.
Oh, that's great. Excellent. Yes. So the grounding, is that something you typically do? Is that...
Yes, actually, yes, it is.
Oh, okay. And how do you do that? How does it work for you? I'm always interested because I tend to do the same couple of things every time. So if you have something to share, it'd be great.
I liked your exercise. I really liked it. I just simply ask for the energy to come through my crown and go all through me, and then out the bottom of my feet, down the core Mother Earth. And then I that's how I ground normally.
Okay. So. Thanks for sharing. Elizabeth, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, doing well.
Good.
Seem to have some energy for some reason. Don't know why, but that's good. So how'd it go?
I really like the meditation. I always do. Mm-hmm. When we were merging with spirit, the first spirit that came forward was really intense.
Yeah.
And my chest got really, really heavy.
Yeah.
And I got overwhelmed, and I had to stop. It was I've never experienced that before. It was a little bit scary. Mm-hmm. But then somebody else came through, and the energy was a lot more calm and more manageable for me. Mm-hmm. It was I couldn't place the person, like a teenage girl, maybe, like in a pink nightgown, and just lovely. It was nice.
Sounds like a great connection. I'd like to hear what everyone else has to say if they can concur with me on this. But, when you get that really intense connection like that, and often it'll happen, like, let's say if you're doing a group thing or a platform work in front of a church or whatever, often that very first reading comes in like that. It's just wham, right? And it's almost kind of knocks you over because it's so strong. But typically that's a very powerful message that comes out of that, because that spirit really has been waiting for a while to come through. Oh. And they finally got somebody that they're connected with. And so it's like they're going to push everyone else out of the way, and they're not going to be stopped. They're going to be the first ones to talk, and this is it, And there probably were, like you can almost pick up on that in part of your reading. It's like, well, this person's really pushy. I wouldn't be surprised if they were a pushy person when they were on Earth, because often you see that. And if they were introverted, then often those spirits that kind of hang back, and then you do have to talk to them and encourage them to come forward. And, the other thing, which is hard sometimes, you tend to get all fired up and you're going so fast because your energy's just vibrating. But if you're dealing with an introverted spirit, you have to give them that time to give you the messages, because it's just like talking or teaching somebody in the classroom who's introverted. You got to give them that wait time. And yet, you're all fired up, at least I am, and I'm not really a patient kind of guy. So it's something I have to remember. So it's interesting. I never really thought about that before either, that the spirits might all be different in their personalities in the way that they come through. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting when you do the breakout sessions, if you can tap back into that and find out who it is, or maybe, I really think you might even get paired up with the person who that reading's for.
Okay.
Mary, how are you?
Good. Great
nice
meditation.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. What, anything in particular stand out for you?
It was like right on to business. Spirit guide comes and and started to blend. And I noticed my aura got a lot larger tonight.
Mm-hmm.
To the right, it was a lot larger. And then I noticed a whole group. It wasn't just one presenting, but a whole group came in,
Mm-hmm.
and they gently pushed a woman forward who was a very shy woman, and very quiet. And they said, "No, this is her place first." So there was kind of like playing nice. They were all very gentle and loving, and she was very nervous and shy. There was a lot of nervous feeling about it.
Yeah, and so, I find that fascinating when that happens, because for me, when that happens, that's typically somebody that's passed within the last year, but we haven't really heard from yet, like they've been doing the reflecting or whatever it is to do on the other side.
Yeah.
And so it's almost their first connection, and they need someone to hold their hand for them.
Yeah.
And I've had that before, especially like I think my father-in-law passed, and we kept waiting and waiting for him to come through. And then finally, his mother, which would be my wife's grandmother, came through. And then, and I have somebody here. And the same sort of thing. Okay, step forward now. It's okay. You can talk, that sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. Have other people experienced that too?
Yes.
Yeah? No? If you haven't, it's going to be pretty sharp when it does happen. Anything else, Mary?
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, because of her shyness, and as I merged with her and I could feel where she was, I looked at her clothing and sensed, this is like now. This is recent. This isn't a long time ago.
Yeah.
It felt very now, like the last year. Yeah, it was like her clothing was current, very current. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Patricia, hi, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. How are you?
No, I'm new here. I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm good, yeah. Where are you from?
Well, I currently live in Smiths Falls, but I'm originally from Montreal, Canada.
Okay.
I think you live in Cowichan Bay?
Yeah, in Cowichan Bay, yeah.
And my grandmother used to live there.
Wow, that's cool. So you're familiar then. So here's it's kind of raining in Cowichan Bay today. That's what it's looking like.
Well, she lived on one of the side roads. She wasn't right in town. She was down on, I can't remember the name of the bay, the little bay that she was on. But
cool.
Anyway, so yeah, not to waste anybody's time. I had a little trouble connecting because I started to wonder about negative energies in spirit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I do a lot of energy work. Mm-hmm. And then I had a thought that, well, if they've crossed over into the light, then they shouldn't be negatives.
Well, yeah. And, I've often wondered about that myself, especially when I was first starting out. But I have to honestly say that after all this time that I've been at it, I've never really found like an evil spirit. I've had negative spirits or spirits that are frustrated, particularly if they haven't passed, So sometimes someone will ask you to come and, clean their house or smudge their house or whatever. And you'll sense a spirit there that hasn't moved on. But it's not like an evil spirit where they're trying to hurt them. It's just a frustration.
They need help. They need
help.
Yeah,
exactly. And so I've never had that. I think that people who have the talk about that, it's in their own head, I believe, because of Hollywood and horror movies and all that sort of stuff, that they expect that. Or maybe it's a religious upbringing where they have been in, they've been told that there's a hell and there's all this, fire and brimstone sort of thing. And I'm with you. I haven't encountered it myself. Maybe it's because I pray that we're only going to get messages from the positive source at the start. But I honestly believe that all spirits are somewhere on a journey, and that, we can just simply help them.
So then I had to smile when you said to somebody about sometimes you get a message that somebody comes through so strongly that you have no choice.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to talk to my mom, and then all of a sudden I had another person come just marching right through. And it was my best friend who passed in 2009.
Oh, wow. How cool.
And she's told me very, very precisely that I'm on the right track. I'm doing what I need to do. And that I was very right about a third person who passed wanting her over on the other side. Was pulling her.
Isn't that nice?
So that and then we came close to ending, so I'm going to have to go back and talk to her again.
Yeah, that's cool. You could follow up.
Oh yeah, but she just marched right in there.
I know, it's amazing when that
amazing.
happens. It's really interesting. Sometimes you get two like that, and they kind of battle it out.
My mom just backed off because I have regular conversations with my mom. But this was very interesting. So I was pretty excited about that, actually.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. So we got a pair of Vickies here today. Let's start with Vicki Reeve. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Very good. How about you?
Good, thank you. How did it go?
Actually quite good. You got me yawning and, just about sleep in the chair, but that was good, Yeah. So, doing the meditation, like Patricia, I kind of like to be in control. I don't like other things coming at me unless I give them permission to do so. And I'd like to know who it is first. So I just asked one of my guides to come forward, and boy, he really took over.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a real big guy,
Got him in line over there, hey?
Yeah. So, just basically not quite kicking my butt, but, come on, let's get going. We've got a lot of work to do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, it's just that the merging, that's one thing I need to do because I really want to get more into channeling, like mediumship, having the person work through me to do his work through me. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Were you familiar with this Tony Stockwell meditation by any chance?
No, I'm not, but I have heard of Tony Stockwell. I have also done a course with Tony Maraca, who has studied under
that was
Tony
his
Stockwell.
mentor, right? Yeah.
That's right.
He also had, I guess the reason I'm asking is he also has a CD called, I forget the name of this, but it's basically about trance work. Yes. And when you're trying to do that sort of work where you're going to, it's typically, I do it more with healing, but sometimes I do it more with mediumship where you're sort of just stepping back and allowing spirit through you. Particularly, let's say with inspired speaking, that happens. But it's a deeper, you're going deeper into a meditative state to get to that level. And then what's really cool is it's like, particularly with healing, you sort of back off and it's almost like you can sense them doing all the work and you're just sort of watching it like a third person. And so I guess if you want to do that, you want to do more channeling work like that, I would recommend maybe listening to, I'm pretty sure they're on YouTube too, to some of that trance thing and see, you might need to go a little deeper and give up a bit more control to do that. You might find it easy to start with healing. I think that's the way to start with that. Do you agree with that, Melanie? Is that how you think it works?
I will say honestly, I felt like my guy that I saw was kind of chit-chatting to me, so I zoned out there for a second.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just talking about healing work, how I sense that you have to go sort of deeper into trance or channeling.
Oh, deeper into trance. I'll say I don't, but but I'm also I've been a physical therapist for a long time, so I have
you probably do it without even knowing it. That's the thing.
Like I have a different approach to the healing, or like I have that kind of anatomical, like I can just, or that kind of remote viewing thing where I just see it kind of in a very structural way sometimes. And I just go, oh, we just need to fix that. And so it's not so.
Let me ask you this then, because are you familiar with Barbara Brennan's work?
No.
Okay, so so it's interesting when she does sort of, is a medical intuitive, or let's say she's scanning a body to see what's going on. She talks about being able to sense a different vibration for each of the organs. That's how in tune she is with that. Can you do that too?
Yeah, I will tell you, I tend to see things a little bit more. I incorporate more, or at this point, I will say I incorporate more mythology and like astrology and symbolism into it. And like I'm a little more comfortable like mediumship wise in kind of the shamanic realm,
Well, you know what, you're gonna have to do a demo for us some week. That would be really
I would love to. I have a very different, like I look at it more as like I look at the astrology and the mythology and stuff like that as like I think it was really literally originally code.
Right. Okay, thanks. How about Vicki Robinson? How are you doing today?
I am doing fine. I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Nice to be with you, that's for sure. So tell me, how did the meditation go?
I always like your meditations. They're very relaxing. I sensed a lot of spirits around me because I could feel the vibration. But what was interesting was I could like feel them so close to me that I was getting goosebumps, and that it almost felt like they were angels fluttering over me.
Oh, lovely. That's lovely.
But I did, in the background, there was a man that was standing there, and I saw him, and he was waiting for me to, like you say, ask him to come forward. He was wearing a dark blue, kind of like, I think what mechanics or gas station attendants wear. And he had an oval name tag, and I kept asking him to come closer so I could try to make out his name, but I couldn't get him that close. So I don't know if that was somebody who was kind of hanging around to give a message, or I guess you can kind of get into that.
Well, I have so many things to say about what you just said there. First of all, I'm with you. Like whenever, and I've got it right now, whenever I feel a really good connection, I get goosebumps and my hair on my arm stands up. And it's like, okay, I've got this, I've nailed this. So I know I'm totally connected when that happens. So it's, kind of an indication to help me. The thing that got me about the service station attendant, I think it would be really cool if you're ever in that situation again, is to like, okay, can you write your name, like dip your finger in the oil and just write it on the cement in front of you or something, and see if you could get him to do it, because maybe he'd be more comfortable in his realm, maybe a little bit much at writing or whatever, who knows. But that's really interesting. Very good. Let me see. Denise D, how are you? Oh, I've talked to you already. You've changed your name. Oh,
yes, I finally.
Oh, you're one of those students, eh? All right.
No, I just figured it out. I was playing with it when other people were talking.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so Jovi, how are you?
I muted it for a while. I got into the meditation a little bit late, but I tend to notice that I'm not really good at meditating. But when I do try to meditate, I can't seem to meditate with my eyes closed. So I tend to do it better with my eyes open.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And, when you're on the platform, for example, I get scolded for this all the time because I like to do my initial connection by having my eyes closed. I think that's because I'm clairsentient. But anyways, no, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. It's disrespectful to the audience or whatever. But, it's like, do you want a good reading or not? So anyway, once I kind of got that, sometimes it's important. I can do it by like kind of staring at, say, the dot on the wall at the back of the hall or the room or whatever. And so I think that's really cool. If you can do it with your eyes open, that's actually a nice gift to have. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Okay, that's good to know, because I was told that I'm not really focusing if I'm doing it that way.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's the golden rule of mediumship. There is no right way to do anything. Like, you do what works for you. That's what's important. So, don't try to be the second best Gordon Smith or something. Like, be the best you. And if I have to do it with my eyes closed, then, well, that's the way I do it. So you can take me or leave me. But, whatever. If you're going to do meditation with your eyes open, then that's great. Really what you're trying to do is just be in the moment. So if it helps you with your eyes open, like to take in what you're seeing or whatever, and you can still focus on your breathing, that's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, because I notice, like, if I meditate or if I'm sitting down reading or grounding myself, I tend to see things better when, like looking around and with my eyes closed. I don't know how to explain that too well.
Well, what I would say to you is I would guess that you're clairvoyant, and that's your best way of communicating, is that you're going to see things. That's why you want to have your eyes open. You have 3 of them, you want to use them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So now let me tell you, did you get to do part of the healing? How did that go?
I was trying to do that. I was trying to do it, but I had like my kids running around here.
Oh, kids.
Closed myself in the bathroom, and then when they came in the bathroom, I told them, "Hey, I'm trying to do this meditation class. Can you get out?" But I got into they finally said okay, and when you were doing the communicating,
yeah,
I was listening in while I was folding clothes, and like, but I tend to see things better open doing things than to sit down. And
you're a multitasker, Jovi. That's all it is.
But I did.
I can see you up on the stage. 100 people have paid $20 to come to see you, and you're folding laundry up there.
Yes, that's how that's the only way I can meditate. I noticed that. But I managed to see, like, the only thing I got was, like, I didn't really see faces, but I got like a room full of people.
Yeah. That's great.
And someone that wanted a hug, like, I felt like a hug.
Yeah. And that, that's like, I think that particular meditation, some people really like that idea where you can sense the physical touch. Like, I think in there's that part where they put their hand on your hand. And for some people, that's the breakthrough, the moment that they can sense that sort of direct connection, particularly if they're tactile. And I kind of sense that with you, that you're a tactile learner. You have to be touching things, and that's great. What you might want to consider is, if you can sense that spirit behind you, it's almost like they're going to envelop you from behind. It's almost like they're going to open a big coat and you're going to step inside that and meld with them. And that way you can totally sense the touching, like the hug and all the contact. Probably the more physical touching and contact that you can make with the spirit, the better connection you're going to get, which is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, any last words here before we go on to the next section? Yes, Denise, hi. Did I miss you?
Well, I'm sitting here. I don't know if you can see me or not, but so
hold on, hang on a second. I'm just apologize. I don't know. Here I thought I had a foolproof system, but obviously I didn't. So I'm sorry. We saved the best for the last. So why don't you share with us what happened?
So not a lot. I had super stressful week with a 2- and 4-year-old, 24/7 for 4 days. So I wasn't expecting a lot, but I did, the beautiful meditation. Your voice is primo. I love it. When we did the spirit communication, I felt a spirit come up, and I felt like touching or something on the back of my head. And then a little bit later, I had opened my eyes because I work with my clairvoyance, and I thought, well, I don't want to sit here with my eyes closed, so I opened my eyes, and I saw a beautiful orb on Jovi's screen.
Oh, wow!
So I don't know if she didn't see it. At first, I thought she was trying to follow it with her camera, but it looked golden or white. So on the playback, we checked that out.
Yeah, well, that'll be really cool to have check that out.
It was a nice size one, and it took my attention, and I was so busy watching it. So then a little bit after you brought us back, I got a super high pitch in my left ear. Usually I get them on the right side, but I got it on the left side tonight. So, but that's all that I got. I didn't get a whole lot, but.
Okay. So I'm fascinated about the left and the right side. Do you have any idea why it was on the other side tonight?
No, but when someone came up behind me, they were like right back here. So maybe that, maybe that was them on this side. Because when I do any of my work, I always shift my thinking in my brain to my right side because I don't be analytical. But I'm still developing and unfolding and learning, so I don't have the but I know that they are working also with my clairaudience. So,
well, okay, so that's really interesting. So the thing that came to my mind when you just said that, how you're trying to shift to one side of your brain, your intuitive side, and yet if this person or spirit came in on the other side, would almost suggest to me that they're a very logical person.
okay.
Right, because they're appealing to you on that side. Now, I do know that we kind of all sort of build our own little symbolic language or messages with the spirits. And I know that when I get spirits, it's like, I don't know if I can get my hands here, but if the spirit is family, that if it's a mother's side, they always come in on my right. So if I sort of have the sense in my aura that they're on the right-hand side, that usually indicates the mother's side. And if it's on the left-hand side, it indicates the father's side. And then if they come in like about eyebrow level, then they're probably just one generation removed, like a mom or a dad. And then if they're a little higher, it's like a grandparent. Sometimes an aunt or an uncle will be a little bit out like that. And so I try to really focus on what part of the aura that connection's coming from. And it really helps me then. Now, sometimes I still don't quite get it, because sometimes you'll get an aunt who was like a grandmother. And so then you know it's not quite a grandmother, but it's close to a grandmother. So you got to kind of, there's some weird relationships out there. So you got to try to figure it out sometimes. But sometimes if I'm having trouble like placing the connection with the person, I'd like to hear if other people have this. But what happens for me is I'll get a flash of, say, my uncle, John, and then I'll know, oh, this is their uncle then. So I get an image of the same relationship that the spirit is to the reader as the image is to me. So if it's my grandfather, then I know it's their grandfather on my mom's side, or if my uncle flashes in or whatever. So sometimes that can help. Does anybody else have that happen to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to you? That's not surprising, seeing how we're kind of related. That's kind of cool.
Right.
I've done readings where I brought, 3 communicators in at once. I could see that one was over here, which was the grandfather, and then, the grandmother was on this side. And then the father would be on the same side as the grandfather.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had that happen before. I wasn't thinking of that when I got the high pitch. I was thinking, oh, it must be my guides working with me again, because I've been asking them to fine tune my light body so that I can hear better, So.
Yeah, that sounds to me like, okay, so what the high pitch sounds to me like, again, a spirit coming through the first time and they haven't quite hit the frequency right or something. And so you're getting, it's like a radio dial. They haven't quite fine tuned it right to the best connection.
Right.
I'm interested. Is anybody else, like when you, is it just a claircognizant thing with you? You just know it's a grandmother, or that it's the maternal grandmother, or do people have other ways of sensing that? Anybody?
I just hear them say,
okay.
Grandmother. It's usually just words. It's usually, I ask them and they tell me.
Mary, that's just not fair. I have to tell you, I'm not happy with that. I think you have to do it in a much more difficult way.
Yeah, for me, it's easy if they don't.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Go ahead, Deborah.
I didn't want to interrupt Mary. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll go Deborah first, then Mary.
I will say that often happens to myself as well. If I don't hear it, or if I don't just know it, they will flash a quick picture of, one of my relatives or someone I know to help me figure out who they are.
Cool.
So that happens to me as well.
Great. That's awesome.
It's different every time. I mean, sometimes I can hear so clearly, and it's great, and because you can hear, right, Mary? And then other times it's like, nope, I have to figure it out another way, through another sense. So
that's a good point. I mean, maybe it's unrealistic to expect it'll always be the same. What do you have to say there, Mary?
I think it's totally, that's always going to change. So now that I just said that I just hear it, I'm probably going to have to go a different way.
Sometimes, honestly, sometimes I can't hear it, and it's okay. It depends on what's going on with me sometimes,
Oh,
so
well,
I'm just
absolutely.
from the flu.
Yeah.
Probably fever.
Oh yeah. Well, if my wife and I are fighting, I'm a useless medium. It's just all I get is readings about, woe is me. Oh, I feel that you're fighting with your wife. It's like,
No, I mean,
own issues. Okay, so let's.